Welcome to Paul Prada Photography on a journey. Our journey takes us today to the rookery of the elephant seals here on Highway 1, north of Hearst Castle. We're supposed to be seeing birthing and breeding here, and you can hear all kinds of conking. They have like a conk sound. These elephant seals are huge. There's a nice billboard behind me that tells you about the babies being born weighing 60 to 80 pounds, the males weighing thousands of pounds, and the immature males and females weighing hundreds, if not thousands of pounds as well. So we're going to see what we could find here at the rookery.
Well, greetings. I'm Phil Adams, and welcome to the Piedras Blancas elephant seal rookery. This is a dramatic time here. What we're seeing is a lot of pups being born, and they're nursing, and the nursing milk is so rich they will quadruple in size in 1 month. The reason that we have the big males here and they're making their presence known is that the females give birth to a pup, they nurse it for 1 month. The last couple of days they're nursing it is when they're ready to mate for next year's pup. And that's the only time they're in heat all year long. These big alpha males know that, and so they've established dominance hierarchies here, and they will get to mate with all those females. What's amazing is that the females and males are all loners at sea. So they all have their own biological clock and their own navigational skills after traveling over 2,000 miles away. Anyway, this process will last for quite a while, but since they're individual, they arrive individually, they leave individually. So those big males are going to be here as long as there are females. That might be 3 months. And so those big males are probably going to lose 2,000 pounds. And so that's a pretty amazing thing for them to even be able to survive that long without eating. One of the ways, none of these animals are eating except the pups. And one of the ways they go through that is that they go through long fasting periods, obviously, the female's about 5 weeks. And if you watch one of these animals at all for any length of time, you're going to see them go through long bouts of sleep apnea. They might breathe once every 10 minutes, or maybe only 3 or 4 times an hour. And their heart rate slows way down too, gets down to 10 or 20 beats a minute. So their metabolic rate lowers. That's very similar, by the way, to their life at sea. Because when they're at sea, they dive all the time. They go down 1,000 or 2,000 feet on average to find food and stay down there 20 or 30 minutes long. When they come to the surface, they only stay a couple of minutes and go right back down. So they are at sea 8 to 10 months of the year, depending on their sex and age. 90% of that time is underwater at depths greater than 1,000 feet. So I know it looks like they're leading a rather idyllic beachfront life here, lying around, but they do have they don't just go out and catch a couple of fish, come back in and lie around for the next day. They are here on the beach completely until they leave after foraging, after giving birth and nursing their pup to the great weaning stage. The pups have to live off that fat she'd endowed them with for at least 2 or 2.5 months while they're learning how to swim, their teeth are filling in. They're preparing themselves to make that first trip to sea. And only about half of them survive that first trip to sea. And it's mostly because of lack of foraging success. Nobody's taught them anything, and they have to try to find food on their own, and it's a very difficult time. They have to use a lot more of their energy to offset the thermal regulation demands of that cold water, because they don't have the insulating blubber the adults do. We're seeing some mating going on right below us here, and that happens, and it will take place, but it only happens, the females are only in heat a couple of days a year, and it's the last couple of days they're nursing this year's pup. You can see how big that pup is compared to some of these other ones that are only a few days old. And so we know that that female is probably in heat. That's why that male is trying to mate with her.
And what are their predators?
Predators mostly was us. We almost hunted elephant seals to extinction. In fact, there were only about 20 of them left at the time. And the only reason that they exist at all now is those 20 of the remaining seals were on Guadalupe Island, which is about 200 or 300 miles off the shore of Baja, and it was so far offshore that the hunters didn't even want to make that trip out to see if there were any seals left or not.
Wasn't worth
it. If that island had been closer to shore, then there wouldn't be any elephant seals left at all. And they made a dramatic comeback, basically because they dive down so deep they have a more unique niche in the food chain than harbor seals or sea lions.
And then do they have a natural predators out at sea?
Well, it'd be great white sharks and killer whales, but they spend very little time near shore and near the surface, which is where, if you were an apex predator, that's where you want to hang out. Because harbor seals and sea lions, they're in the water daily. But these guys, when they leave here, it's a beeline for deep water. That's where they do their foraging.
What do they eat?
The males forage within the continental shelf. They go all the way up to the Aleutian Islands, and they will eat fish that live on the bottom. Flatfish, skates, rays, hagfish, ratfish. The females tend to forage farther out to sea, but they dive down as deep, but they rely more on food that has bioluminescence, like squid.
Thank you. These elephant seals have a mixture of females, pups, and males, young males and alpha males. You will hear the conking of the alpha males. There's several here. Those are the dominant ones. The subordinate males are trying to mate with the alpha males, part of its harem. The pups are screaming for their mothers. In some of the clips you saw or heard too, the pups screaming because they couldn't find their mother, and sometimes the younger pups perish because they get separated from their mother and they just die here along the beach. So up and down the coast you have seagulls feeding on the carrion or the carcasses of the dead pups. The vultures, I drove up and they were like 9 just sunning themselves on the sand dunes. And behind me here, there are at least 100, 150. The boardwalk is getting filled with people now. You can hear all the screams. A lot of them are, some of them are in the water. There are coves up and down here, all the way from Hearst Castle to here, that the elephant seals come out and beach themselves just to rest. But you'll also get seagulls and pelicans as well, and other shorebirds mixed in here. There's some crows, ravens, there's cottontails along here in the shrub, squirrels, lizards, and other animals, not just the elephant seals. And if you're lucky, you'll see a golden eagle. Thank you for being with us on our journey to Piedras Blancas and Año Nuevo with the elephant seals. If you like what you see, please subscribe to Paul Prada Photography on a Journey on YouTube. Get yourself out on a trail by the ocean. Thanks for watching.